Welcome back, everyone. We got a good one for you this morning. We're going to cover some possible XRP pretrial news, and we're also going to talk about three big moves that are happening in cryptocurrency right now. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Still sitting over $1 trillion at $1.2 trillion for the crypto market space collectively. That is encouraging. Bitcoin now just jumped over 40,000. It had been hovering just underneath, and we see it back over 40,000 well right now, $40,928.34. And I wish I had a bunch of it. 15.36% up on the 7-day. We're 5.28% on the 24-hour. Ethereum, we're going to talk about that in just a second. $1,670.44. We're almost we're 3.27% up on the 24-hour and 23.54% up on the 7-day. Now, Cardano has just been racing away on price here. You know, some people call Cardano the Ethereum killer. Well, I think you could actually cite three things. Remember, we did cover the XRP hooks amendment that we'd say Wen is working on for smart contract capability. I think you could throw that in the Ethereum killer business too. And then you got Flare Networks, and I don't think we have to talk about how important that is to what it can do for using smart contracts and being a bridge between the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network. So it looks like Ethereum is enjoying a day in the sun right now, but I believe it is going to have some major challenges as we move forward in the growth of this space. Time will tell, but shout out to Charles Hoskinson and Cardano and all the success they're having right now at 69 cents, up 96.25% on the 7-day, ladies and gentlemen. Yowza. By the way, keep a lookout. I'm going to be releasing my newsletter, and if you're not on that, make sure you sign up in the description box or the comment section. Join that newsletter. We will be putting that out either later today or tomorrow morning. And we are looking at Polkadot at number 5 spot here, and XRP coming in. It is off by 41.18% on the 7-day and down 2.72% on the 24 hours. So we're sitting at 42 cents this morning. It isn't all bad when you can keep going up in price while you have several lawsuits, including the SEC, suing you. So there is something to be said about that, okay? So let's go ahead and get right to it this morning. Let's start right here. A little bit of shaky news coming out of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let's just see. It seems that the governments that might appear corrupt want to ban citizens from using crypto. Unfortunately, it makes sense. It's not right, but it makes sense. So hopefully they get that straightened out down there in Nigeria with the central bank. Sent a letter to local financial institutions on Friday ordering them to shut down all bank accounts associated with cryptocurrency trading platforms. That's a bit of a bummer, right? Buzzkill, so all I could say to that is simply this, is that, look, hopefully this is a situation where they're just trying to figure out who's who, and they bring in some kind of unified regulation that allows everybody to get trading again. I mean, let's get people and, let's empower everyone right while we're at it with this technology. So here we go. Here we see another talk of banning crypto coming from Michael Val 5 Links. They can't be that backward. And I agree. The Indian government may take the ordinance route where it says to ban the use of private cryptocurrencies in the country, as well as create a regulatory framework for digital rupee issued by the Reserve Bank of India, of which Ripple is working with. Hello. Come on in. Now, when I look at this article, I did go into this article, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you other than to say that they do not define in this article what private cryptocurrencies actually are to the Indian government. So we have to wait and see on that one. But nevertheless, I think ultimately, look, I don't think the world wants to be left behind, just like I don't think the U.S. is going to get left behind. I mean, I think the world understands collectively Even if they don't know how they want to structure the framework at this time, I think they understand that they don't want to miss this boat, and I don't think that they will. So let's keep going here. Ripple and Coinbase shift 76.7 million XRP, while coin sits at 44 cents. Well, let's take a look at this. It does appear that this is for expenses, and it came from Ripple's personal holdings, which sounds like the right thing to me, because remember, the Delaware Chancery Court had issued a restraining order for Ripple to not do and participate in any more OTC sales, I believe it was, or they had to stay at a net zero, what they called a net zero level, until they get the Tetragon situation resolved, because it was the Tetragon lawsuit that involved the Delaware Chancery Court to make the restraining order against Ripple. So maybe, in fact, maybe we could politely reach out to Jeremy Hogan, who's been an amazing source of information on the legal side of all of this. And maybe, Jeremy, if you happen to hear this or listen to this, or someone contacts you, it would be great to get your insights on the restraining order from the Tetragon lawsuit. And let's see if we can't find out some legal opinion about that restraining order. So if you're not aware, just very quickly, the restraining order from Tetragon was because they wanted to get their investment funds back. There is a clause in the investment fund capital that they helped raise for Ripple that if XRP was declared or found to be a security, they would be given back the money that they put into the investment fund for Ripple. So in that fundraising round. Now, obviously, it is only alleged at this point that XRP is a security. However, that did not stop Tetragon from going forward with the Delaware Chancery Court for that restraining order. So it appears here that Ripple transacted crypto between its wallets, apparently cashing some funds out from the 6.3 billion XRP held by the company, which, like I said, makes sense. All right, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that. And here we see a step forward again from the digital yuan, and it gets even deeper because they really are hard pushing forward for this market. Beijing and Suzhou will distribute 6 million in digital yuan on Wednesday. In total, more than $17 million of the CBDC has been issued under a test. Now, here's the bigger part that we haven't heard yet. China goes full steam ahead. China's first hardware wallet for the digital yuan supports dual offline payments without an internet connection. Now, to me, this is a big step forward for China to move to this way. So, again, this is the kind of pressure that I think we need to see from around the world to ensure that we are all collectively going to be moving together, however liquid it may feel. I think we're going to see huge responses from these kinds of motions forward from countries like China, right? So, all right, here we go. This is Compliments of Crypto Eddie from Michael Val 5 Links, Tokyo SBI Holdings, and Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group will launch a digitalized stock exchange in Osaka in the spring of 2022 to compete against Tokyo Stock Exchange, and Nikkei has learned. So this is really, really exciting news to me, because if they're tokenizing the stock market, baby, that's exactly what we want to see. We know, if you're not aware, if you're new, I know there's a lot of newcomers coming into this channel every day. SBI is an early investor in R3 and is an early investor in Ripple itself. They are huge advocates of using XRP, and they clearly have made it very clear over the years that they've been involved with the company that using XRP for settlement is the holy grail end goal. So if you're digitizing the stock exchange in Osaka, I would imagine there's a great possibility that XRP may be settling it back in. That is what it's designed to do. Now let's step out of XRP for a second. Ethereum futures are now trading on Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Wow, did you ever think it? I mean, let me just give you a macro of this. First of all, institutional money doesn't want to be in this space until they start to see the products from the conventional market superimposed on top of the crypto market. So the more we see futures, swaps, ETFs, ETNs, call option, puts, all of these things, these products that are offered in the conventional markets, the more we see that developed here in this space, trust me when I tell you, the more institutional money you're going to see race into this space and make big positions, not small ones. So that is duly noted. Now, one thing I will say about this is when I went into this article here, Ethereum futures are now trading on CME. It says here, has launched much anticipated futures contracts, Ether, native cryptocurrency of the Ethereum blockchain network, in mid-December. Trading in Ether futures went live late Sunday. Now, this was on February 8th that this came out. It's updated, but I think it was actually a few days ago. So with February contract registering an open price of $1,669.75 at the time, the spot price stood at around $1,600. Now, what's interesting here is I don't see, other than this chart, shows a monthly printout of price and things here, right? So maybe these are monthly or maybe they're perpetual. Now, if you don't know, there are different term rates offered, generally speaking, for a fully developed futures market. So you would have spot price, which is your daily, right? And then you'd have weekly futures. You can have monthly futures, one financial quarter, right? So a 3-month future kind of thing. We have to see. I mean, I read somewhere that it was going to be perpetual open-ended, which means it didn't have a term, right, where it ended, expired. So you could just buy the future instead of buying the physical asset. Now, with that being said, if it is a perpetual future, and it doesn't say in this article, I've looked and I've looked other places, I just haven't found it yet. But however, if it is perpetual open-ended, I would say that that's not fully developed. It's a way to introduce the future, but real futures become a part of price discovery when they have a term. And then you could start to formulate between those different futures and the daily spot price of the asset. And you could start to get price discovery moved off of the asset and onto the paper market, essentially. So, and that's where most of the market is now in the conventional world, right? Just an example really quickly, if you're not aware, gold usually trades, I think if the number's either 100 million or 100 billion, it might be 100 billion every single day, just for sake of example. But yet the paper products that are sold on it, the ETFs, the ETNs, the options, right? The futures on top of gold and other metals market is in the hundreds of billions of dollars per day. So it is a much larger market on the paper product side of offerings of that than it is the actual asset itself. And I see that blooming right here. The other thing to note about this, and believe me, this is a big deal. You're going to want to know all of this. How did the price of Bitcoin come down when it was racing to $20,000 originally? Remember, if you've been in this space, it was the U.S. introducing futures contracts on top of Bitcoin. And it was after Chris Giancarlo, known as Crypto Dad, left the position as chairman of the CFTC, who said in a conference, which we covered here on this channel, that futures were introduced on Bitcoin to do what? Pop the bubble, because you could begin to short the asset from the futures contract, which means you could actually bet that it was going to go down in price. So, Ethereum's racing to the moon. We see futures contracts introduced. What might we see going forward? I don't know, but it sounds like they're getting ready to put a saddle on the horse, doesn't it? So there we have it. Now we finish right here. And this is Jeremy Hogan. If you're not aware, go subscribe to his channel, Legal Briefs. His insight has been phenomenal during this time of lawsuits flying around the room like Tic Tacs. And I just want to acknowledge some of the things that he talked about. I'm not going to play this clip, but I suggest you go watch it. It's really good. But I just wanted to show out or just say the highlights here. Pre-trial information, there is a scheduled telephonic call to happen at February 22nd, 2021. That's 14 days away, okay? Now, he says throughout the document, we could see discovery, which is collecting all the evidence from either side, take place by September of this year. And basically, you typically, not that you couldn't, they could settle tomorrow morning or 5 minutes ago. But typically speaking, he suggests that, we may want to keep an open mind because normally both sides aren't prepared to settle until after the discovery process has taken place. So this way, both sides can easily look at the information and say, we can win this, or we can, or we should just go ahead and settle. And here's the points of contention, right? So, all right. So then we also don't have Gary Gensler confirmed yet. And we've talked about that on this channel, right? We need to see that confirmation of Gary Gensler. I also believe we need to see the confirmation of Dr. Brummer if he is in fact going to be the nominee for the CFTC. And we need to see Michael Barr, formerly of Ripple, become the head of the OCC if in fact he's going to do that. So these confirmations really have to happen. Here's the other great question, too. So we still need the confirmation of the SEC, the CFTC, and the OCC. And where in the hell is Brian Brooks? I hope he's having a great vacation, but boy, could this crypto space really use him right now. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. Mediation is something we could pay attention to, right? Because he reminds us in this video, Jeremy does, that more than 50% of the time, parties will reach an agreement to settlement through mediation. Now, that again, that could happen 5 minutes ago. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in September or beyond. This thing could also go to distance. He does highlight in this video that because of the Kitcoin case that happened, he doesn't necessarily see a jury trial at this point. He could see a summary judgment by the end of the year potentially, which is fine by me. It says here, for those of you that are looking for a potential new Howey test to be introduced. I don't think it would replace the old Howey test, but a new Howey test that could be introduced. It could go all the way to 2022 or 2023 if we end up seeing a series of appeals through the process here going the distance. So that's what we're looking at right now. Now, on the short side of this, he says he's looking for February 15th before the 22nd. Because that's going to be a case management filing, and he has access to that because he's a lawyer, and he'll be able to see that when it goes public, and he will share that with us. So thank you so much, Jeremy Hogan, and all your insight, and go follow him. Watch all his videos pertaining to crypto. He's really, really insightful, and I will catch all of you on the next one. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I love seeing your comments. Some incredible comments over the weekend. And by the way, this is crypto. You never know. Head on a swivel out here. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. Guys, it's tax time. And if you haven't done it, Clinton Donnelly's the one to talk to. I got his link in the description box. They have helped so many people on this channel save so much money and audit troubles and the whole bit. I think he's helped save over $40 million for his clients so far. So make sure you check him out as well, and I'll catch all of you on the next one.